Oh, this defense wants to bring some pressure. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Caught over the middle, it's Clark. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
Back to throw, it's Simon. Punts it out of the air. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
Well, after watching the other offense go down the field and score a touchdown, you know this guy's trying to lead his offense to do the exact same thing. That was a big 3rd down. I know there's a lot of football left to play, but you're trying to establish confidence as early as possible. That last throw is really going to help out your team.
From the gun, the ground game. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. So first down didn't exactly go according to plan. Let's see what they can dial up on 2nd down.
Reese, I got him right where I want him, okay? I'm going to throw the football. Now I can get back in shotgun. Let's forget the running game stuff. We're going to play a little pitch and catch and see how good that secondary is.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He'll pull it on the read. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up.
And the quarterback is toast back at the 35.
Man, this home crowd was so jacked up, so excited to finally get the football after giving up points on the first drive and having to be quiet. Now they're quiet again. How about the defense coming in here, shutting this crowd up early and doing their job?
Temple lining up to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll try to field the punt and bring it back. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. On the ground, it's Henry. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Great team defense on that one. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Early in the game, as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
The Roadrunners come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. To the ground to try to move the chains. They just needed inches. Instead, they lost 3 feet. What a play by the defense.
And just nowhere to go for that runner. He had no choice. That defense, they were bringing it up front. Everybody winning their one-on-ones, and they completely had him surrounded.
A couple of yards short of the first down in your own territory, but they are going to go for it on 4th. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. They were willing to spin that wheel of fortune in their own territory, and it paid off.
And it came up good. I mean, I think you see the aggressiveness by these offenses now, willing to go for it on their own territory, and I like it because they got it.
And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
We've reached a break, and it's UTSA on top. One period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. To throw, it's McCown. Catch in the middle, it's Henry. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Looking to the big tight end. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
What a big game-changing play. I love when you see defensive players, they jump on the ball like they were the offensive guy. So aggressive, going and getting that pick, creating some big mojo for your team.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. They've got the screen set up. They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 45-yard line.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your playmaker. If he could just make one more guy miss, that might have been huge.
He gets the job done on third down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. The Owls will snap it on 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Simon. Here comes the heat. Sometimes the ball just bounces your way, and the offense very lucky to keep possession on that one.
Well, ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep two hands on the ball as well. And they're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped on.
And the Owls now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Trying play action. Pocket breaking down. And he feels the heat coming and it burns him up. Another sack.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game. But finally now, you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. These corners backing off a bit. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the... Their own end zone nipping at their heels as they start this drive from their own 2. Takes the handoff. It's Henry. And I think he got back to the 2-yard line, but the defense was ready for the run.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Standing in his own end zone looking to throw. Makes the grab. Only a couple there, and now staring at 3rd and 8.
Look, as an offense, you're always going to take completions over incompletions and interceptions. So the offense, they're able to make that 3rd down a little bit more manageable, but honestly, not that much.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Now facing a 3rd and long. Off play action. Grabbed in the middle, it's Clark. And he's brought down after a nice game.
Well, offensive coordinators put in countless hours every week trying to formate and use different personnel groupings and shifts. And
oh, he's got some space. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Quickly complete. Gets it out to about the 35-yard line. That's where they'll mark him out of bounds in this offense trying to put something together. Now here on 2nd down, see if they keep tossing it around. Rush is on him. And the rush will get to him at the 25. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
All right, this quarterback is going to have to start playing with a clock going off in his head. He knows he cannot hold on to the football too long with players like that getting after him.
To do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Fires one high and deep. He's got it down the right side.
This guy's done a lot of good things early this year throwing the football. With that last completion, that now takes him over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
And the Roadrunners with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield, it's McCown. Got a man, it's Clark. He's brought down the 1, a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? They're stringing together several first downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
The Roadrunners started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
Man, as a quarterback, you got to be careful. He's lucky there. If you miss high throwing over the middle of the field, oftentimes that results in interception. So lucky that ball was incomplete.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. Fires to the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, UT San Antonio!
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touch.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. He'll do it himself. Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line. Temple lines up quickly.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to run another play.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions. Really need to cash in on this drive. Back to pass, it's Simon. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. UTSA takes over in the offense, ready to hit the field. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Using his legs, it's Henry. Makes it past the marker. They'll get it to the 48, no need to measure, it's a first down.
And here we go. If you're an offense, you got to get that ground game going so you can have some balance, and then you give it to your quarterback, Palmer, and let him make some plays down the field later on.
Yeah, exactly. And, coming into this game, this offense knew they were going to have to some way, somehow, at least establish a semblance of a running game for exactly what you just said. You got to be able to use play-action explosive plays down the field, and it's a play like that we just saw, which can help them get that going.
They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
Working that left side. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
A first down run on the doorstep. And he's forced out of bounds close to the goal line, and that shove saved a touchdown.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. That is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Roadrunners. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, let's take a look at what's...
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. From the gun, the running back looking for room. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
There he goes. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. To the air, it's Simon. Fires to the big fella. He'll get it out to the 43-yard line. That's where they mark him out of bounds, and this offense is starting to do a little work. And here comes the offense on second down. The play action fake. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. This Temple offense putting together a nice drive. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Stewart. Finds a crease at the 20. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stops. Temple will line up with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Looking to fire. Bought a little time, lets it go. Into the end zone. Who gives a hoot? The Owls do. It's a touchdown. Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. First half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. 76 yards on the drive for the drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Motion from the wide receiver. Gonna run it. It's Henry. Got enough for the first down and wants more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical and they're trying to stay on the field.
At the end of the quarter, guys, it's UTSA holding the edge. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So first down, we'll open up the final period. Looking for a man, it's McCown. Makes the grab on the left. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with the lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
Really impressed with the running back. His stats haven't been great, right? Every yard has been hard to come by, but these are some of the best runs we've seen in the game by him, and it's happening at the most important time here in the fourth quarter.
They'll keep it on the ground, trying to milk the clock. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. And if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. A great job in the base defense making a play.
Got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. With the catch, it's Clark. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. Back to throw, it's Simon. Got his man. Still running at the 40. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line. The Owls want to crank the tempo.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit. And the Owls come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You get the ball out. But when things break down, they get off schedule. You've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
Looking downfield on 1st down. Bringing the heat. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Now look what I found. I'd say that's a stroke of good fortune. The offense keeps it. Oh, they are breathing a sigh of relief after that recovered fumble. Back to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the right. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half.
Timeout, UTSA.
The Owls had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Looking to throw on 1st down. Now improvising. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he runs it in for a score. Touchdown Owls. UTSA will take over in the offense, ready to return to the field. Guys, you want to be productive here and not go into a shell, but you've got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, and I think you say productive, Reese. Productive at this point in the game is running the clock and getting 1st down. So, Jesse, I can expect this defense to be aggressive, way up near the line of scrimmage, bringing a bunch of bodies, trying to stop the run.
And that's why it puts a lot of pressure on an offense, David, because you know if you do try to throw the football, it's probably man coverage. You're probably getting blitzed. It's going to be into a small window. It is not easy to execute in this situation of the game.
On 2nd down, let's see if they go right back to the run and put this game on ice.
Delay of game. Offense.
The delay of game pushes the offense back. Let's see what they've got on second down. The give to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that's exactly what you would expect from this offense. Listen, when you're in that 1 to 2 minute range and you got the football and you got a lead, it's smash mouth, it's keep that clock running, it's ground game. So interesting now on this third down what they do next, but we got to keep that clock moving.
And the Roadrunners are way behind the sticks on this third and forever. Wide receiver going in motion. On the run, it's Henry. They will stop him short, and the defense trying to keep him alive.
Well, you got to wonder about the play call there. Third and long, hoping to catch the defense off guard, napping, but they weren't fooled. They made a play, got the tackle for loss. Now you've got 4th in California.
The Roadrunners decide to punt it away. His first one of the day gave that leg a workout 5 times in last week's victory. Temple takes over and the offense will return to the field. Okay, 1 possession game. You've got some time to work with, but you have to make up some ground quickly, David.
Got to be smart. Can't throw in front of the sticks. Can't get tackled in front of the sticks. Make sure we're taking some shots down the field, chewing up some yards. Jesse, the defense will be vulnerable here.
Yeah, and I think because of that, David, offensively, you got to have a plan. You got to know where your best matchup is out on the perimeter and who can make the big catches here in small windows.
QB spikes the ball to stop the clock. No gain on the play. Third down coming up.
No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. Looking to pass. It's Simon. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Catch inside the 30 and still running. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
First down, Temple.
You want to talk about building confidence? Coming through with clutch plays, making the winning plays at the right time can really set the course for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Reese, maturity and experience matters, and this team has guys that have played a lot of snaps, they've seen a lot of looks, and they've lost close games like this in the past. That wasn't the case today, David. Too many guys out there making big-time plays.
And I think belief is what you build. That confidence, you know you're going to win. You don't think you're going to win. You know you're going to make that play in the big moment that continues to build on week-to-week success. And you look up and you're like, dang, we strung a couple wins together.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.